Now, as we can see, this is our RJPT Simlab laboratory's UI interface. On the left side bar, we can see the machine bar over which our guinea pig is placed. On the right side, we have our tools bar where our scissors are placed. On the bottom side, we have the steps instruction to perform the experiment. On the bottom left side, we have the wash, baseline, and inject button for the insertion of the histamine solution. Then on the right bottom, we have the interaction buttons, next and skip. On the top side, we have a timer which records the time of the experiment. Then we have our observation table. We have our observation drop down over which, as we can see, when we will click it, we will see the drum pattern over which the graph of the chymograph drum can be seen. This is where we can see the graph drawn. We have our observation. Then we have our procedural flow chart part where we can see the steps of the experiment. We can click on any step to jump. We can click on any of the steps to jump on the on the part. Now let's start with the experiment. By clicking the right click button, we can see the area of the laboratory, and then here is the I button, which shows the instructions to operate the simulatory lab. We can press R for the reset of the camera. We can press the left and right arrow keys to move towards the laboratory. We can scroll bar to zoom in and zoom out, and we can hold the right mouse button to rotate the camera. So now let's start with the experiment. On the Now at first we'll place the guinea pig from the left side bar to the cutting board. As we can see, we have placed our guinea pig on the dissecting tray, and now we'll place the tools from the right side toolbar to cut open the guinea pig. Now we will cut the tissue from the guinea pig and isolate the ileum part. As we can see here, we have placed our guinea pig on the dissecting tray, and with the help of the suture scissors and the scissor, we will cut open the abdominal region of the guinea pig for the isolation of the ileum. We have to perform this step very carefully so that the internal organs of the guinea pig are not damaged. At first, we have to cut open the fur layer, the skin layer of the guinea pig to isolate the inner skin layer of the guinea pig. As we can see, we are slowly cutting the abdominal region, and then we will elevate the skin portion so that the internal organs are visible. As you can see, this is the inner layer of the skin, and we will cut that with the help of this scissor so that the internal organs are visible to us. Moving forward, slowly, we will elevate the skin part. As we can see, we are elevating it with the help of these suture scissors, and the internal organs will be visible to us. As we can see, all the internal organs are visible to us. As we can see here, this is the stomach portion. This is the large intestine, the small intestine, the liver section. All these internal organs are visible to us in a clear pattern. And now we will isolate our ileum section with the help of these scissors. Slowly, we will take out the ileum section which is connected to the stomach portion, and we will cut a small segment for our ileum section part. We will cut a small section and then we will place it into the petri dish. Slowly we will cut so that no other organs are damaged, and we have to keep our ileum section also without damaged. Otherwise, we will not be able to perform our experiment accurately. The muscle contractions will not be accurately done. Moving forward, as we can see, we are cutting the small section of the ileum. With the help of these scissors, we are cutting the small section, and then after cutting it, we will place it in the petri dish. As we can see, the petri dish is also filled with a solution. It is the thyroid solution. And as we can see, a pipe is also connected to the petri dish, which is the aerator pipe, which supplies continuously the oxygen and carbon dioxide so that our ileum section is kept preserved during the experiment. Now, Moving forward, now we will stitch the tissue. Now stitch the guinea pig tissue. Now we'll watch a video on how to stitch the tissue. As we can see, we have our suture scissors, and with the help of these scissors, we will tie a thread on the guinea pig ileum very carefully. As we can see, this is our thread. These are the suture scissors, and we are performing the tying of the tissue. As we can see, the pattern is filled with a solution, which is the thyroid solution, so that it is keeping our tissue preserved. And a aerator tube is also connected. As we can see, the bubbles are coming out, which is the continuous supply of the oxygen and carbon dioxide, so that our tissue is kept alive during the experiment. Keeping alive of the tissue is very much important so that the muscle contractions could take place very easily and very accurately. Otherwise, our response will not be generated accurately. We'll get a false response and the experiment will be get failed. We have to tie this thread very carefully on both top and bottom ends of the tissue. As we can see, we are tying the tissue, we are tying the thread on the top end and the bottom end of the helium tissue. We have to tie these threads very carefully so that it does not close the lumen. Lumen is the inside part of the helium, and we do not have to close the endings so that the passing of the thyroid solution is, is continuously done. So that the thyroid solution will clean the inside portion of the helium, and the continuous passing of the thyroid solution will keep the tissue alive. As we can see, we have tied the thread on the top side. Now we are tying the thread on the bottom side with the help of the suture scissors. As we can see, we are tying the thread on both the ends very carefully so that the lumen portion does not closes and the passing of the thyroid solution is there. We have to perform this step very quickly before dyeing of the tissue. While performing this experiment, the tissue can dye very immediately and very fastly. So to to does not let the tissue die, we are continuously supplying the oxygen and the thyroid solution is placed, and we are performing this step very quickly so that the tissue does not die. After stitching the tissue, as we can see, we have accurately and properly tied the tissue to the guinea pig's ileum. After that, after tying the thread to the tissue, now we will hang the tissue on the liver of the student organ bath. Now we will hang the tissue. As we can see, we are hanging the tissue on the student organ bath's the frontal liver. We have hanged the tissue on the liver very carefully. The student organ bath is also filled with the tissue. As we can see, this is the reservoir which is filled with the thyroid solution, which provides the thyroid solution to keep the tissue preserved. The thyroid solution is passes through this heater. As we can see, we have the heat placed a heater so that a temperature is maintained for the tissue to be kept alive. And the aerator is also connected so that a continuous supply of the oxygen is there. Now we will wash our tissue for performing the for introducing the histamine stock solution. And before introducing, we will wash our tissue. As we can see, we are washing our tissue with a thyroid solution. So as we can see from the reservoir, the thyroid solution comes with the through the temperature control, and the temperature is maintained of the solution so that an ideal temperature is maintained of the tissue to keep it alive. This is the heater portion. This is the liver connected to the student organ bath. Now we have recorded a response. The response recording takes place for 60 seconds. We will record the response for 60 seconds. And then after that, before that, we will perform a baseline. The baseline preparation takes 30 seconds. As we can see, we have prepared a baseline. And now we will insert our first 0.1 ml of histamine stock solution to the guinea pig's ileum. As we can see, with the help of the micropipette, we will insert the histamine stock solution to the guinea pig's tissue. We have inserted it and we will record it for 60 seconds for the response of the histamine stock solution. The muscle contraction will take place for 60 seconds, and as we can see, the frontal lever moves upwards and downwards for the recording of the response of the histamine's effect. The response time is for 60 seconds. As we can see, the timer goes for 60 seconds and the response is recorded. And after that, we will wash our tissue. By clicking the wash button, we will wash our tissue from the reservoir, and the washing time place takes for 60 seconds. We will wash the tissue twice. Again, we will wash the tissue so that no remains of the previous drug solution is placed as kept on the tissue so that it will deviate or hinder the response of the histamine solution of the different concentration. After that, after washing, we will prepare a baseline. The baseline preparation takes for 30 seconds. As we can see, the timer is moving and 30 seconds, the baseline is prepared. Now we will see our first curve. As we can see, this is our first curve prepared of the 0.1 ml concentration of the histamine stock solution. Now we will add the 0.2 ml concentration of the histamine. We are placing the 0.2 ml concentration of the histamine on the guinea pig's tissue, and the recording is for 60 seconds. As we can see, the timer runs and the response is recorded for 60 seconds. And after that, we will wash our tissue. We will wash our tissue twice so that no remains of the previous drug solution is placed on the tissue. Otherwise, it will interfere with the next drug solution. Again, after that, we'll prepare a baseline. Baseline preparation takes 30 seconds. And then again, we can see the different curve. This is a 0.2 ml concentration of the histamine stock solution. Now we'll place our next concentration, which is of the 0.4 ml concentration of the histamine. With the help of the micropipette, we will place the 0.4 ml concentration of histamine. And as we can see, we have started our Sherrington revolving drum so that it revolves. And with the movement of the frontal lever, we can we can see the graph is drawn. At the end of this frontal lever, we have placed a needle pen so that the graph can be drawn. As we now will after recording the response, we will wash our tissue. We will wash our tissue twice. As we can see with the help of the reservoir, we are washing the tissue and the continuous supply of aerators with the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. The tissue is kept alive. And after washing, we will perform a baseline. As we can see, for performing the baseline, we are starting the Sherrington revolving drum so that a baseline is prepared. Now we can see this is our next response, the 0.4 concentrations curve. Now we will add our next concentration, which is the 0.8 ml of histamine. With the help of this micropipette and the rotating Sherrington drum, we'll, we will record our next response for 60 seconds. As we can see, we have placed our 0.8 ml of histamine stock solution to the guinea pig's ileum, and the timer has started for 60 seconds. Now we will wash our tissue. We will wash our tissue twice. Then again we will perform a baseline, and then we will add our next stock solution, which is the 1.6 ml of the histamine stock solution. As we can see with the help of this micropipette, we'll put the 1.6 ml of histamine stock solution to the guinea pig ileum. The response will be recorded for 60 seconds. As we can see, the timer starts and the movement of the Sherrington drum has also started, and the movement of the frontal lever with the help of the upward and downward movement, we will draw a graph. And after that, we will wash our tissue. We'll wash our tissue twice so that the no remains of the previous drug solution is present on the tissue. And then after that, we will perform a baseline. The baseline preparation takes for 30 seconds, and a baseline is prepared so that we can differentiate between the different concentrations of the histamine solution. As we can see, this is the baseline preparation, and the washing time is for this period. For this, as we can see, this line shows the washing period, and this line, the horizontal line, shows the baseline. This is the baseline. Now, these are the different concentrations of the histamine. This is the 1.6 ml concentration graph, and it is a huge graph. Now, we'll put the last concentration, the 3.2 ml concentration of the histamine stock solution to the tissue. Then we will record the response. And as we can see, the Sherrington drum revolves, and we have drawn a graph.